Come up. We'll go one more time. We're going to turn around and we're going to lay our feet flat. We'll tuck it in.
ஃபோன் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்களாப்பா? சரி சரி சரி, ஓகே ஓகே, சரி கொடுத்துருங்க. ஓகே. அவங்க காம்பேரிங் பண்ண நியூஸ் பண்ணும்போது எல்லாரையும் மியூட் பண்ண சொல்லிடுங்க. யாரும் நடுவில் மியூட் பண்ண. குட் ஈவினிங் சார். சார் குட் ஈவினிங் சார். சரிங்க சார். சரிங்க சார். ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார். இல்லைங்க சார், வரல. நான் அந்த அவருக்கு மெயில் அனுப்புகிறேன் சார், சாருக்கு. இந்த வாட்ஸ்அப்பில் தான் அனுப்பியிருக்கேன் சார். மெயில் அனுப்ப சொல்லுவாங்க, நான் இப்போ அனுப்புகிறேன் சார். சார் விசி சார் வந்துட்டாங்க சார். வந்துட்டாங்க. குட் ஈவினிங் சார். குட் ஈவினிங் சார். குட் ஈவினிங் சார். விசி சார் குட் ஈவினிங் சார். குட் ஈவினிங் மேம். குட் ஈவினிங் மேம். குட் ஈவினிங். குட் ஈவினிங். குட் ஈவினிங். குட் ஈவினிங். குட் ஈவினிங். சார் ரிஜிஸ்டர் சார் வந்துட்டாங்களா சார்? சார் வாட்ஸ்அப்பில் அனுப்பிட்டேங்க சார். மெயில் இந்த அனுப்பிட்டுருக்கேன் சார். இந்த இப்போ அனுப்பிடுறேன் சார். பண்ணிட்டாங்க சார். சார் பண்ணிட்டேன். கண்ட்ரோலர் சார். சார் ஓகே சார். ஓகே சரிங்க. சரிங்க சார். சார் ரிஜிஸ்டர் சாருக்கு மெயில் அனுப்பிட்டாங்க சார். சார் இது விசி சார் குட் ஈவினிங் சார். சார் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. சாரோட ஃபோட்டோ வருது. ரிஜிஸ்டர் சாருக்கு அனுப்பிட்டேன் சார் மெயில். ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார். ரஞ்சனி மேம். சார். ஆமாங்க சார். சார் உள்ளே வந்து ஆ கொடுத்துருக்கேன் சார், ஆல்ரெடி சார் உள்ளே வந்துட்டாங்க. திருப்பி 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 ஆ ஆ வர சொல்லுங்க. ஆ ஓகே சார். ஆ சார் சார் உங்களை கூப்பிட்டுட்டாங்க இப்போ வெல்கம் கொடுக்குறதுக்கு. ஆ ஓகே ஓகே சார், உங்களை கூப்பிட்டுட்டாங்க சார் வெல்கம் கொடுக்க. ஓகே சார். ம் சார், யுவர் வாய்ஸ் நாட் ஆடிபிள் சார். ஆ சார். எஸ் சார், எஸ் சார்.
about three lines continuously running to denote about the various degrees acquired by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, starting from MBA to PhDs and other degrees and diplomas received from foreign countries and foreign universities. So such a very reputed academician is being with us as our Honorable Vice Chancellor. And apart from that, he has visited more than 55 made more than 55 international visits and visited more than 36 countries altogether, and almost more than 500 to 600 institutions he has paid a visit both in India as well as in other countries for academic research and extension activities. So such a very resourceful person is with us. Apart from that, the very important contribution he has made to the academic field as well as research is of mobilizing more than 325 lakhs of rupees on the aspect of contribution towards the research, training, and consultancy. And he is also a member of a team worked for the RUSA while he was working in Annamalai University as a professor and head department of business management and administration. He was the instrumental person to mobilize about more than 20 crores of rupees through RUSA scheme. And not only that, he has been recognized by international and national bodies by awarding nearly 45 prestigious awards and fellowships for his credit. And apart from that, he has been a very great expert, not only in the Board of Studies, Academic Council, Senate, and Syndicate, and various academic bodies, but also he had been the chairman, member secretary, coordinator, and member of various national repute organizations which were established for the cause of maintaining quality in education, both in teacher education, in general education, in technical education, and so on forth. So he had been associating with UGC, NAC, AICTE, and other national bodies. So such a very resourceful person we have with us as our Vice Chancellor, and it is a great blessing to all of us to have him as our Vice Chancellor, and his contribution towards the extension activities in terms of organizing so many international, national, and state level conferences is also being praiseworthy, and his vision is altogether something very different as compared to any other academician, and his vision is nothing but to achieve something very great, to reach the goal by the way of collaborating, coordinating, and helping all the members to work together as a team. So such is a Taraga mantra he has with him, and we are slowly able to understand his Taraga mantra in the past almost 1 year in our university. Probably we will be able to learn a lot from our Honorable Vice Chancellor in the years to come. So with these few words, on behalf of the Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, and also on behalf of the organizing college collaborating with us, NSS Training College of Tandalam of Kerala, on behalf of the participants and all other academicians, research scholars, and the heads of the institution, and on my own behalf, we accord a very, very warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and I am very happy to introduce to this audience. Thank you very much for giving this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your welcome address. Now is the time for the presentation of the theme, and I invite the IQAC coordinator of NSS Training College, Pandalam, Dr. Ranjini Devi, a great organizer and above all, a lovable person, for presenting the theme.
Still, teacher, am I audible?
Yes, sure. Sure, Ranjini.
Most respected Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Professor Panjanathan sir, Honorable Registrar, Professor Balakrishnan sir, respected Director IQAC, Professor Mani sir, respected Dean of Faculty and Head, Department of Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Professor Govindan sir, our beloved principal, Dr. Usha Devi ma'am, vibrant organizing secretaries, Dr. Shivashakti Rajamal, assistant professor and coordinator, Center for Capacity Building Programs for School Teachers, TNTU,
கூப்பிட்டீங்களா?
Dr. Subramanian, Assistant Professor and Coordinator, Innovation and Best Practices Center, TNTU.
Hey,
Dr. Pandian, Assistant Professor and Deputy Director, IQAC, TNTU. Respected resource persons, especially today's resource person, Dr. Said Waji sir, other dynamic members from TNTU and NSS Training College, Pandalam, most lovely participants, a very happy good evening to all.
சரி சரி இன்னைக்கு உங்களுக்கு
With the blessings from the God Almighty, I would like to present the theme of this 1 week faculty development program. The concept of quality is not a new one. The same is true about our concerns about quality. Nowadays, most of our concerns are associated with the technology, as most of the significant developments that we observe today can be attributed to the impact of technology. Coming to the field of teacher education, as teacher educators, or principals of teacher education institutions, or as policymakers, when we think about quality, what should be the first question that we should ask ourselves? Why should we give so much importance to quality? I know the common answer, because UGC, NCT, or NAC demands to have quality institutions, so we have to keep up with them. Really, is this our answer? If so, it's high time for an introspection. We should worry about quality, but not for others. It should be for ourselves, for our students, and our stakeholders in general. And most importantly, those children whom our students are going to teach or mold in future. Teacher educators are always called teachers of teachers. So don't you think we have a double responsibility? So I think what we need is a conscious effort from our part. As a higher education institution, we should develop our capacity to adapt to changes and pursue the goals that we set for ourselves. The National Assessment and Accreditation Council, in short NAC, conducts assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions, such as colleges, universities, or other recognized institutions to understand the quality status of the institution. NAC evaluates the quality in terms of its performance, related to the various aspects of the institution like curriculum coverage, teaching learning process, faculty, research, infrastructure, governance, and all those things are there. So what do they expect from us in terms of quality? NAC has suggested 5 core values which form the foundation for assessment of institution by NAC in terms of quality: contributing to national development, fostering global competencies among students, inculcating a value system among students, and promoting the use of technology and quest for excellence. NAC has been carrying out the process of quality assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions over the past 2 decades. Several institutions, including universities, autonomous colleges, or constituent affiliating colleges, have gone through this process. When we think about the process of accreditation and assessment, what we actually need is a holistic approach where there's a common thread that can hold all those beads which we proudly call criteria, like curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research and outreach activities, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. We all know that some years back, NAC has stopped the process of accreditation for teacher education institutions. But now the platform has opened again. But definitely with some changes, so we are like newbies again. So we thought that it's time to be learners again. The result is before you, this 1 week program. We really hope that this 1 week program could equip all of us to be clearer and more confident about the whole assessment and accreditation process by NAC. We have tried to accumulate the most resourceful persons in this field. So dear friends, let's begin our journey, our exploration. Thank you. Srile teacher, over to you.
Thank you, Ranjini, for it was a wonderful theme presentation. We move on with our program. Yes, the Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Professor Dr. N. Panchanatham, a leader of intellectual might, resilient in spirit and flexible in action, a person who has the power to make everybody around him feel like winners. With his abundance of positive energy, real charisma, and a different management style, he has been instrumental in pioneering innovative changes in the field of higher education and teacher education special. What sets him apart is his openness to diverse talents, wherever they are found, running through students, academicians, professionals, and above all, his openness to partnerships with institutions at the local level, national level, and global level. It is no wonder that these talents have brought him all the laurels that were put forward. It was explained by Professor Mani, including 45 prestigious national, international awards and fellowships, a doctorate, being the first doctorate holder from Annamalai University in Business Administration, and visiting about 500 institutions across 36 countries. Very often, his achievements, I think, is something that cannot be attained by an ordinary person, even during his lifetime. So with these words, sir, I invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Professor Dr. N. Panchanatham, for the presidential address. Sir, please.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University's Center for Capacity Building Programs for School Teachers, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Innovation and Best Practices Center, in collaboration with Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Super Smart Institution, NSS Training College, Pandalam of Kerala, jointly organizing this 1 week great program, faculty development program on revised NAAC assessment and accreditation framework for teacher education institution. At the outset, I congratulate all those who are directly or indirectly responsible for planning, organizing, and successfully carrying out this program. Professor V. Balakrishnan, respected registrar of this great university, Professor M. Govindan, respected dean and the controller of examinations, 24/7, he works for the welfare of student community. He conducted along with his team examinations for 3 lakh examinations in 10 days and declared results in 9 days. 9 days. So such a great person, along with his team, he did that. And super smart institutions, great principal, respected principal, Professor Dr. Usha Devi Madam. Then the leader, Dr. Sivasakti of Center for Capacity Building Programs for School Teachers, who has contributed more than 100 programs. She has conducted, now it's maybe her 110th or 11th or 12th program. She, along with her team, they have contributed, they have organized, they have conducted, making hundreds and thousands of participants to participate all over India and from 12 more countries, more than 110 programs. She is here. And I join most respected Professor Mani, Director of IQAC, and part of member, respected member of ND, and head of the department, and so many respected positions he occupies I join him in welcoming all the guests, all the participants, all resource persons, particularly Dr. Syed Wazid, who is going to address today on curricular aspects, the first and foremost criteria of National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC. He is going to address. So I join most respected Professor Mani, Director IQAC, in welcoming all organizers, all participants, resource persons, and ladies and gentlemen, and Madam Ranjini Devi, super smart Madam, Assistant Professor and IQAC Coordinator of NSS Training College. We say in Tamil, we used to tell, பெயர் சொன்னால் போதும் தரம் விளங்கும். That means if you just name, you will know the quality. So in that way, NSS Training College, it is re-accredited with the A grade. With the A grade. Madam, though we are universities, particularly when I compare in certain aspects, our university with your institution, you are our mother. You are, because your institution, I think it is more than 50, 60 years old, many years old. We are only child, 10 years old. And you have gotten an A grade. You have gotten an A grade. We wish and pray that you should go to A++. A++. So such a great set of people you have in your institution. We used to learn lot of things from you. As you rightly told in your introduction, learning is a mutual process. Similarly, Master of Ceremony Madam is doing, Sri Rekha Madam from NSS Training College. She has been with excellent language skill. She has been doing it. Similarly, Badma Madam will be doing vote of thanks, and other respected participants from various classes. I think more than 200 to 300 participants are there. Apart from that, through live YouTube, hundreds of participants are participating, not only across the country and beyond the boundaries of our nation. From various countries, people do participate because it is the leadership of all these persons. Professor Subramaniam, I have missed many names. Dr. Subramaniam, Dr. Pandian, because many cells are in charge of many persons, and I request all of you to excuse me for not mentioning many names. If I do not mention many names for which solely Dr. Shivashakti Madam is responsible, because she has not printed her own name in the invitation. So I have not mentioned many names, but I know that it is a teamwork. Many persons are together from both the institutions together do organize. So I request you to excuse me for not mentioning many names. And the point is, just I will take 2-3 minutes and stop, because we are eagerly waiting to listen to get blessed by other people in the name of felicitations, and by Dr. Syed Wazid, Associate Professor, IQAC Director, St. Joseph College, Autonomous, Bangalore, Karnataka. He will be addressing us. We are very happy, sir, that you are being with us today to enlighten. But I wish to say to all the participants that quality matters. Dr. Shivashakti Madam, Dr. Mani, and a team of people are writing a book, editing a book on the title Quality Matters. So the future is going to be quality matters. That means if there is no quality in education system, such institutions cannot survive. How will you assess? How will you determine? How will you confirm that this institution is a quality institution or not for the consumers? That is the reason NAC is there, QCA is there, QS is there. All over the world, there are many quality accreditation ISO institutions are there. So we institutions should go for that. Repeatedly, we should force our consumers. Our consumers are stakeholders. Stakeholders are our students. Stakeholders are our parents. They ask 100 questions now. I remember in those days when I completed my SSLC and when I went to college, if you give me a seat is enough. Give me an opportunity to study higher education. That was the situation. Now, children and parents test whether laboratory is all right, teacher is qualified, syllabus is all right, placement is okay, A grade is there, A+ grade is there. So many, they are all checking now. So quality matters. So in order to make all your institutions quality institutions, you have to learn a lot of things. Thanks to the team, Dr. Subramaniam, Dr. Mani, Dr. Bandian, Dr. Svasakti Madam, Dr. Ranjini Devi, Dr. Usha Devi Madam, all of them, sorry I'm missing many names, all of them together see their good heart. They don't restrict themselves that we should learn more about quality. They say that let all our stakeholders, anybody from India and abroad, any teacher, any research scholar, any student, let them learn. Let them learn more and more and more. Let them get reinforced about the quality parameters. As rightly Dr. Ranjini told, the first parameter in NAAC is the curriculum. I had an opportunity, as rightly Professor Manisar introduced me, I had an opportunity to visit more than 100 institutions for accreditation on behalf of NAAC and AICTE, another 150, NBA, National Board of Accreditation. So whenever I go as a chairman, as a member coordinator, as a team member to various institutions throughout India, I used to learn a lot of things, quality related issues. What is available in one college are not available in another institution. For every institution, my age is nearing 60, I learn a lot of things. So there are excellent institutions. They market themselves very well. They project themselves very well. They give excellent quality institutions. There are some institutions they have gotten a rule for 100 seats. Their expectation is at least 10,000 applications should come. I used to ask, sir, if you get 150 application is enough. You want to admit only 100 students. Why do you want? No. That ratio decides. If you listen to all 7 speakers 7 days, they will tell. So one of the parameters of quality is in your institution for 50 B.Eds to seat, how many applications you received? Did you receive 500? Did you receive 5,000? Somebody received 50,000 applications for 50 seats. They are great. Quality matters. Quality speaks. That is the reason people do go there. But in my college, if somebody says, for 50 seats, I don't get even 50 applications, that is the deciding factor. In all 7 days, these great people will be talking on all those things. Then the curriculum, then the teaching learning process. There are repeated I used to speak everywhere. There are more than 158 methods of teaching. But unfortunately, in the name of institutions, colleges and universities, we restrict to this type of monologue, particularly lecture method. Experiential learning. New education policy, thanks to Honorable Government of India, thanks to Honorable Government of Tamil Nadu, the new education policy, student-centric teacher. It should not be teacher-centric. 10 years, 15 years, if I teach, I get development. That is not the purpose of making the government making us to become teachers. The purpose is to make our students to become great people. For which what we need is student-centric method. How will you do it? It is a tough task. Preparing and talking as I am talking now, like this talking is a easy task. But student-centric, experiential method, case study method, international tour method, field visit method, games method, research method, assignment method, question and answer method, external talk method, debate method, 158 methods a teacher can make to make the students to understand a particular concept. Student-centric. That is the reason even my teachers used to tell in those days to remember, for 1 hour teaching Panjanadam, you have to prepare 3 hours. I used to ask, what is this? The subject I am teaching for the past 10 years. Why should I prepare 3 years? 3 hours I speak, sir. That is not preparation. How will you make student-centric? What is today's same topic? For a good teacher, every class is a new class. I have been teaching for the past 35 years. Even today for this 10-minute talk, I have preparation. I have my notes here. I have my preparation. For a good teacher, every class is a new class. It is not the notes prepared 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you can make. For which student-centric methods, teaching learning process. Another speaker will speak on that. Then research, consultancy, extension. There are some institutes in India and abroad. Teachers, they claim that I will come at my own convenience. The institution head says that if you come, it is enough for me. Why? He is getting some 3 lakh per month. But through consultancy, he is giving to the institution more than 2 crores a year. So what he gets from the institution is less, what he gives to the institution is more. So the head of the institution says, whenever time permits to you, you take class. You take class. So see, through consultant, it is not money matters. When you do through consultancy, you get enriched. A good teacher is a learner, continuously. What is going on today, we should learn. Then we should take them to the class. So that is there. Similarly, infrastructure facilities, students' progression, teachers' success is in the hands of students' success is in the hands of teacher. If a teacher says, he is my student, he is an IAS officer, he is my student, he is a great professor, he is my student, he is a great scientist. If a teacher says like that, only then he is happy and students' progression and they pass, they go to next stage, then a teacher will be talking, a resource person will be talking on that more. Then the governance. Every teacher is going to be an administrator of an organization, of an institution. You cannot 100% do only teaching. Something more than that you should do it. So your administrative ability, administrative acumen, your governance, your management style, your people-oriented style, making people to work for the organization, all matters. As a teacher, I will not simply read and explain things to the students. I will restrict to myself. No, those days are gone. Those days are gone. Something more than that. Something more than that should be done. Something more than that should be done for which. More than that should be done for which what you have to do, you have to take a lot of responsibilities in the organization, in the institution. NSS, I will do. IQSC, I will do. Any filing work, I will do. Taking students out, I will do. In every administrative aspect, you should participate. Only then you will become a great person of governance tomorrow in the institution with which you are going to run. And similarly, there are many best practices. You will be learning. Some of them will be talking. Dr. Subramaniam is editing a book along with others on best practices. And he will be releasing it soon. You will be seeing all those things. So in that way, friends, the last point I want to say, India's
சார் ஆ ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார் ரஞ்சினி மேம் அவர் ரெஜிஸ்டர்ஸ் நாட் அவைலபிள். Yes, sir.
Teachers Dr. Sivasith Rajamal, Director of IQAC Professor Manisar, and Coordinator for Innovation Best Practices Center Dr. Subramanian, and the Coordinator for IQAC
வெளியில போயிட்டீங்க மேடம், ப்ளீஸ் ஜாயின் பேக் மேடம். ஐ திங்க் சார் வாய்ஸ் இஸ் நாட் ஆடிபிள் மேடம்.
Yes, yes, his sir is not audible.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Sudarshan Kumar from Cochin for accepting our invitation and their valuable time and going to share their expertise in the 7-day workshop on faculty development program jointly organized by Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University and NSS College, Pandalam, Kerala. With these words, I once again congratulate the entire team, entire organizations team for organizing this 7 days.
Attending a meeting, but she has promised to join us very soon. So we move on with our program. I quote James Allen, "No duty is more important than of returning thanks." So I call upon Dr. Padmapriya, Assistant Professor, NSS Training College, to deliver her most important duty of expressing gratitude.
Srilekha ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're sure.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai, Professor N. Panchanadam sir. Respected Professor Balakrishnan sir, Registrar in Charge, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. Respected Professor M. Govindan sir, Dean of Faculty and Head, Department of Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai. Respected Professor S. Mani, Director, IQAC, TNTUE. Respected Principal, NSS Training College, Pandalam, Dr. V.K. Ushadevi ma'am. Respected IQAC Coordinator of NSS Training College, Pandalam, Dr. Ranjini Devi S. Dr. Shivashakti Rajamal ma'am. Dr. Srilekha L. Organizing Secretaries, faculty members of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Center for Capacity Building Program for School Teachers, IQAC Innovation and Best Practices Center, NSS Training College, Pandalam, and all the participants. Good evening, one and all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai, and NSS Training College, Pandalam, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence and took out valuable time off your busy schedule. Must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Professor N. Panchanadam sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai, for enlightening us with his knowledge and presence. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable and highly motivating words. Also, I would like to extend a special thanks to Professor Balakrishnan sir, Registrar in Charge, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, for his moral support and inspiration. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Professor M. Govindan sir for his immense support and guidance throughout. I also wish to express our gratitude to Professor S. Mani, Director, IQAC, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, for his fantastic welcome speech and timely support. Thank you, sir. I am grateful to Dr. Ranjini Devi, IQAC Coordinator of NSS Training College, Pandalam, and Dr. Shivashakti Rajamal ma'am, Assistant Professor and Coordinator, Center for Capacity Building Programs, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, for their sincere effort and skill in organizing such a relevant webinar. The way Dr. Ranjini Devi explained the theme of the program is exemplary. Thank you, Ranjini teacher and Shivashakti ma'am. I also wish to express my gratitude to our beloved principal, Dr. V.K. Ushadevi teacher, for providing encouragement and support. I would like to thank my dear colleague, vibrant, energetic Master of the Ceremony, Dr. Srilekha L, for her fantastic performance. Thank you, Srilekha teacher. As no program can become successful with a single person, so I extend my big thanks to all the teaching, non-teaching faculty members of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Center for Capacity Building Program for School Teachers, IQAC Innovation and Best Practices Center, and faculty members of NSS Training College, Pandalam, for their immense support and encouragement. And I would like to thank all the participants. Without you, this council would not have been possible. Thank you very much. Once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks to each one of you for making this event a grand one. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, Padma Priya, for your nice words of gratitude. So, Ranjini, hopefully we are moving with the academic session.
Sure, teacher.
Yes. Dear delegates, yes, we move on to our academic session, and we are indeed very fortunate to have Dr. Syed Wajid, who will brief us about the importance of curricular aspects. He's the Associate Professor and IQAC Director of St. Joseph's College, Bangalore. And I invite Dr. Srivrinda Nair, Assistant Professor, NSS Training College, Pandalam, to introduce the chief guest of the day.
Thank you, Srileha teacher. Am I audible?
Yes, Srivrinda, you're audible.
Yes. Good evening to all. As we all know, the success of a venture often draws us back to such activities again and again. We had witnessed the success of a webinar jointly organized by NSS Training College, Pandalam and Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University 2 months before. A key feature of this webinar is that in addition to Capacity Building Center of TNTU, the IQAC and Innovation and Best Practices Center is now with us. First of all, I would like to congratulate the administrative faculties and the organizing secretaries who had worked a lot to make this a success. It should also be noted that this webinar has been selected as one of the most relevant themes related to accreditation, and it is entitled as Faculty Development Program on Revised NAAC Assessment and Accreditation Framework for Teacher Education Institutions. It is my duty to introduce the expert we have received today to present the theme, curricular aspects. The resource person, Dr. Syed Wajid, Associate Professor, Department of Microbiology, St. Joseph College, Bengaluru, Karnataka, is now with us. He is the IQAC coordinator and coordinator of choice-based credit system in his institution. He holds the positions of Board of Studies member, Department of Microbiology, Board of Advisors, Nilgiri College of Arts and Science, and member of Curriculum Development Cell of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Sciences, Coimbatore. He has 20 years of teaching experience for UG and PG students of microbiology. He has been acting as a resource person for HRD and Igniters programs. He has published several research articles and completed various research projects. He has also proved his expertise as an organizer of more than 10 intercollegiate competitions and seminars. He is serving as the nodal officer of NIRF and coordinator of UGC scheme for mentoring NAAC accreditation aspirant institution. The success of any venture depends on the presence of the right people in the field. As we go through his biodata, we can see that he is the most deserving or an appropriate person of our webinar today. He has been working as a keynote speaker and a panelist in various seminars and conferences related to NAAC accreditation. Once again, I would like to congratulate the organizing team for selecting such a vibrant personality for today's session. With all respect, one thing I left to say, he has proven his expertise in the academic field as well as in the literary field. Besides all his academic assignments, he is a script writer and director. He directed a play on HIV, its infections and diseases caused and its prevention, and another one on interactions of microorganisms and its environment. With all respect, on behalf of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University and NSS Training College, Pandalam, I welcome you, sir, to this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Should I start with the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Professor, most respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Panjanathan, Organizing Secretary, all the organizing secretaries, IQAC coordinators, registrar, COE, deans, all the members who are present here. So thanks a lot for inviting me over here for the seminar, and a special thank for Dr. Anjali Devi for inviting me here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So without further ado, I would just try to start with a topic that I have been asked to present. So do you want the video to be on, or you're okay with this? Okay, let me start sharing the presentation. Yeah. Could you let me know if you all can see the screen?
Yes, sir. Screen
Yes,
is
sir.
visible.
Okay. So thank you once again, all those who are involved in organizing this 7 days workshop. So here today I'm going to be talking to you all about the revised NAAC assessment and accreditation framework. Let me start with an introduction to what exactly it is, and later I'm going to move on to the criteria 1, that is curricular aspect. All of us are aware about NAAC. It's not very new. It's like more than 2 decades old. Now, what exactly is NAAC? It is National Assessment and Accreditation Council, an autonomous institution of the University Grant Commission. Now, this was started in the year 1994. Now, NAAC is involved in a process of assessment and accreditation. What exactly NAAC does? It looks at assessing higher educational institutions. Now, India is growing in terms of number of colleges and universities. It's mushrooming rather, I would just say. Now, when there are so many colleges and universities, the emphasis would be more on the quality and the relevance of the education being imparted by these higher educational institutions. Now, hence, there is a requirement that, a body like NAAC who is looking at, assessing the performance of higher education institutions and then also helping us how we move from where we are. So NAAC process of assessment, it is towards holistic, systematic, objective, database, transparent and shared experience for institutional improvement. What does it do? It assess and give accreditation to the to the higher educational institution. So it's all depends on how well we fare, just the way that we can teach students, where after which we assess them based on how well have they learned, and then we give them grades. So NAAC also does the same, but it is more transparent the way they kind of function. Now, what we all need to also know is the vision of NAAC. We need, any higher education institution will have its own vision and mission. Keeping that in mind, it's also required that we know what is the vision and the mission of the NAAC, so that when we are working towards taking part in NAAC process, there is amalgamation of the vision and the mission of both, and it becomes easier for us to work in sync. The vision of NAAC is to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation, promotion and sustenance activities. So here quality matters, as the Vice Chancellor was insisting again and again, yes, quality does matter. So everything revolves around quality. Anything that we do, the quality should be the defining element. The program that you're all organizing, if finally we take the feedback, quality matters as to how well the program was organized and what is the takeaway message from all the resource person that each audience would have got it. So quality kind of matter. Now, what is the mission statements of NAAC? The mission statement of NAAC is translated, that is, whatever the vision has been translated into the mission statement. Now, what are they basically asking us? Their mission is to arrange periodic assessment and accreditation of institution of higher education or units thereof or specific academic programs or projects. They want, there has to be stimulation of academic environment for promotion of quality in teaching, learning and research in higher education. To encourage self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy and innovations in higher education. To undertake quality-related research studies, of any higher educational institution. So what is the first criteria that we are going to be talking about? The first one is the curricular aspects. So I'm going to be a little more in depth about the curricular aspects. Now, when we talk about higher educational institution, no higher educational institution would function without kind of offering a program. When you say we are offering programs, so there has to be a kind of a curriculum design, the way it has to be delivered, the way it has to be assessed. Now, all of these would come under this particular criteria, what we call it as the curricular aspects. So it is one of the prime and important criteria. The second one is the teaching, learning and evaluation. Whatever you have designed in your curriculum, how is that being kind of taught, being kind of assessed, could be evaluated, all that is what it would be reflected in teaching, learning and evaluation. The third here is the research, innovation and extension. So when we talk about imparting education to the students, it is not like only they get educated to be a collaborative way of education where teachers and students together have to learn, research, and extend whatever their activities that they kind of do, not only for the sake of that program that they have come in, it's for the life teaching is what they'll have to be doing. And during the course, a lot of ideas should kind of spark out, and innovations should be coming out. Anything we face a problem, those have to be addressed and new innovations have to be coming in. So there has to be research inculcated in the students' education. Teachers should be a part of these research activities, and together there has to be a lot of innovations to be made, and also connect with the society with a lot of extension programs. And what is important is to carry out these learning activities, the research activities, the innovative programs and all, there has to be a right infrastructure and the learning resources. So ensure that the higher education institutions have the required infrastructure and the learning resources. Due course, when you offer all these programs and all that, what is required for the student is sort of a support system. So ensure that there is a support system for them to carry out whatever that they would want, the ideas that they want to make it happen on a kind of a platform that the institution will provide. Try to provide all that is kind of required. You need to mentoring them, you need to be good listeners, you need to handhold them, you need to get the creativity out of them. All that is possible with the student support, so that you see that how they kind of progress from whatever, the slow learner to kind of a mediocre to higher learner to researchers and the innovators, where we want them to start generating the knowledge, creating the knowledge, not just like assimilate the knowledge. And at the same time, later you need to also look at that everyone should have this in him or her, the leadership kind of qualities. Okay, it's not like if all are leaders, who's going to follow? Not necessarily when I say I'm a leader, others should follow. You should be working in sync with each other in as a team for any activities and all of that, so every student, faculty who are there should be a lot of kind of the leadership abilities in them. They need to have a lot of freedom for them to exercise whatever they want, and you need to build a very important relationship with the management, with the students, and together you all can move. And very important is like, you need to also try to work on, what are the distinctive features of your higher educational institutions, what are the institutional values that you want to inculcate it into the students, and what are the best practices that each department would follow, or each teacher would follow, or as an institution you would follow. All that would be reflected in criteria 7. So these are the 7 criteria. So if each one of us look at these carefully and then start working on them, then there is no question of the quality not being there on campuses. It's going to reflect in every little work that you all kind of do it. So further, as to question would arise as to why should you go through this sort of a rigorous process? Yes, all those who have taken part in NAC process might have understood it's not an easy thing, but if you, as we keep telling students, like try to study every day little, so that there is not much of work left for you towards the end of the exam, because there are a lot of students who would study just a day before, a week before, or a month before. So you might have been wondering as to there's going to be a lot of piling up of the work. You might not be able to do it properly, you might not be able to learn properly, students might not be able to understand and all of that. Whatever comes their way, they might do it, and obviously the scoring is going to be bad. The same thing here, when we talk about the NAC and all, it should not be like, we need to wake up when the NAC team comes, or when we take part in this accreditation process to generate all the data and submit. Obviously, it's not going to be a good one. So this thing should become a part and parcel of your day-to-day functioning of your institution. So accreditation, once you have decided to take part in, or already you have taken part, try to make this quality as an aspect of every small bit of work that you all can do, from small to scale up to any larger amount of time. So once you take up this accreditation process or you go through the accreditation process, it is going to tell you what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, opportunities, and because you have gone through what is called as a well-informed review process. Because of the process, you be aware of your strengths, weaknesses, and also it will tell you what opportunities are there which you have not explored. Now, it is also going to help you to identify the areas which are weaker or whatever, and then you can plan, and a lot of resources which you might not be using, you could use them and allocate them really well. When you perform well, a lot of stakeholders and a lot of other funding agencies, when you ask for any fundings from them, they would look at as to how well are you failing, what are your NAC scores or your NRF scores or any other ranking that you have been a part of. If those are good, that means those funding agencies would get sort of a kind of information that you are doing well. So when you fund them, that money is really going to be used for a noble cause, and then the funding would also come to those institutions. Okay, and institutions will start also thinking of new innovative and modern methods of pedagogy, that is teaching to make the students better and the best. It will also give you a new sense of direction as to how would you move. This is where I am. I have done a complete assessment of how are we functioning now. So that will give you an assessment, and then it will tell you how others are doing. You can do a lot of these comparisons and then move into the direction which can give you the best results. The society would look at you. When I would want my kids to study in a higher educational institution, I would do a lot of homework. I would do a lot of research. I would want to know how good the college is or how good the university is, how are the faculty, how is the infrastructure. A lot of that has to be done. So if we are performing well through whatever, and the ranking goes better and all, that itself is going to be a good remark, or a good indication for the stakeholders like parents and also the other society to say that yes, this is the place where my kids have to be studying. So the society is going to look at these institutions for them to partner with them or to deal with them. Okay, even a lot of industries also look for students to intern with them and all of that. So if you offer a good education, obviously they are going to grab the students from your higher educational institutions.
Said sir, may I just interfere? Said sir, may
Yes.
I just interfere?
Yes.
So the PPT is not showing properly, sir. We just look into it.
Okay, from my side, I see that it's being displayed. Should I
Yes, sir.
stop and share it again? Am I audible?
Yes,
yeah,
sir, you
this-
are audible.
yeah,
Your
you're audible,
PPT
but
is
the-
visible, sir.
Benji, is
Okay.
it visible?
Yes,
But
it's visible. It's visible. Actually, some other participant started presentation, so it became in the small screen.
So Benji, at present, it's not visible for me. I got some. We got some information in the chat box. It's not visible. So even now, somebody has given PPT not visible. Okay. Yes.
Now
Okay.
I have stopped sharing. I'm sharing it again. So kindly.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see
Now it's
the-
visible. Yes, yes, sir. It's visible. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, for interrupting.
Am I audible?
Sorry, sir, for yes, sir, you're audible. Sorry for interrupting.
No issues, no issues. Sometimes if the network of the participants is not good, it might happen that they might not be able to see it. Okay. So I was talking about what are the benefits of the NAC accreditation. So one of the other benefits, the employers, when you take part in this NAC and all, you know, we need to map the students' progression as to how many students join, how many students have passed out, how many students are employed, how many students have gone for higher education. So we need to do this mapping. So if you want more of your students to be employed, employers are going to look at what are the skills that you are, imparting to the students, so that, when I take those students, they would do the best. So you need to, again, this process, a review process, is going to help you to tell where is that you need to be working so that you can make your students more skilled and knowledgeable. And also a lot of intra and inter-institutional interactions can happen. So what better example can you all see? Now, 2 of the universities have collaborated here, or and carrying out these sort of an activity. So there has to be a lot of these sort of institutional collaborations, not only for conducting these seminars, for various other things. When we talk about the resource mobilization, there are best of experts in one of the university which are not there in the other. You can look of collaborating for teaching, you can collaborate for research, you can collaborate for various things. So this is something that again you could think of collaborating. Okay, so these are certain things as to why one should take part in the NAAC process. So now I would move on to the revised assessment and accreditation, just give you a little kind of an idea as to how it works. So most of us are aware that this revised assessment and accreditation framework, it was launched in July 2017. Now the new framework, now it is ICT enabled. It is objective, very, very clear, and this is the question and you need to give a relevant answer to the same. It is transparent. What I do, I would put it on the website, which can be seen by all other institutions. There's a lot of transparency and you would get marks to what you have presented yourself. Scalable, whatever you have done it, within whatever a few weeks and within a month, they can work on it, and it's a robust process. It's faster and you could get the results also at the same time. Okay, so the entire assessment, it has been carried out in 3 stages. So if I'm planning to take up this NAAC process, if I have not done it, the first time I'm doing it, or even if you have done it, the first cycle, second cycle, the third cycle, you'll have to go for whatever cycle that you want to go. The first thing that you need to do is you need to first fill an IIQA, that is institutional information for quality assessment. An application has to be filled in online, which is available on the NAAC website. And once you fill in, once the NAAC would respond to your application, then you can start filling in the SSR application. 45 minutes time would be given, 45 days time, sorry, would be given to you for you to upload all the data criteria wise, the format wise, whatever the NAAC has. And once you complete uploading the data, then it goes through a process what is called as student satisfaction survey. So when you submit the data, you would also have given the name and the mail IDs of the students. So from the NAAC office, they are going to send questionnaire to the students, some 100 students or of the total college, or 500 for the universities as a minimum. Or 10% of the students would be send this sort of a survey, and based on whatever the survey results that they would get, meanwhile they would also start the data validation process, and based on the results that they would got, if a college has scored around 25% and higher, that means they would allow to the next process of the assessment, evaluation and certification process. So it's been categorized into these 3 steps. To tell you a little more on, so we know that there are 7 criteria. Now every criteria has what are called as the key aspects or the key indicators. For under total 7 criteria and total number of key aspects or key indicators, for university it is 34, for autonomous colleges it is 34, for affiliated colleges it is 31 for undergraduate colleges and 32 for PG colleges. And each of the key indicator will have quality metrics, and there are 115 quality indicator metrics for university, 107 for autonomous colleges, 93 for UG and 96 for PG colleges, for affiliated colleges. So SSR, it has 2 kind of metrics. One is what we call it as a quantitative metrics, and the other one is qualitative metrics. Now, what is this quantitative metrics? That is the data which is quantifiable. That is, you're going to give the data in terms of facts and figures. Okay, and so that is whatever data that you submit, yes, they are going to verify that and validate it, and then a kind of a score is going to be generated. Okay, so and the weightage given for this quantitative, that is around 70%. And the metrics, which is more descriptive type, that is, you need to write a lot of responses to the questionnaire that you would give, that the NAC has asked. So for those descriptive responses, we call that as a qualitative metrics, which is QLM. So here 70% for the quantitative and 30% for the qualitative metrics. Okay, so this is a flow chart of the entire NAC assessment and the accreditation process. As I told you, you need to start with the IQA application, and once you get the information, that is the institution information for quality assessment, you start filling up the SSR. Okay, online it has to be done, and once you have filled in that, whatever the link that is generated and the SSR, you need to be uploading on the website. And once you're done with this, the student's survey would start. Okay, and same time the verification, the validation process also would be starting, and it would generate that pre-qualifying score, which will allow the peer team to visit the campus and then complete the accreditation process. So then the assessment evaluation certification will start. So the assessment, as I told you, it would generate a pre-qualifying score. Based on that, the peer team would come and assess, and once everything is done, whatever the report that they would have generated plus the report that would have been generated by the other quantitative score together, yes, the process would be completed, evaluated, and you would be given the credits to whatever that you belong to. Criteria wise, yes, they're going to give you the score and totally sum of what score that you have got it, and all subsequently the ranks, the certificate would be generated. Yeah, so the data format is all available in the PDF that has been there on the website. So there is going to be an executive summary. You need to give the profile of the institution. There is extended profile of the institution, okay, and then quality indicator framework, that QIF, the criteria wise, is what we're going to be submitting. Every department report has to be generated. Again, there is a format, and for all these, there are a lot of templates, documents which are there in the PDF or the Word format, and also the data sheets which are there on the NAC portal. We just need to download and just follow it accordingly. Okay, so this is the distribution of the metrics and the indicators across the criteria. So as I told you, there are 7 criteria for all university, autonomous colleges and affiliated institutions. Key aspect indicators, there are 34 for university, 34 for autonomous colleges. For UG it is 31, and for PG it is 32. How many of the qualitative metrics are there? For university it is 36, autonomous 35, UG 35, and PG 36. Quantitative, it's 79, 52, 58, and 60. Okay, so these are the numbers total that you need for the qualitative and the quantitative metrics. Hope I'm audible. Sorry. Hello. Some disturbance.
Yes.
Some disturbance.
Participants, please off your mic. Okay, so
so this table would also tell you the marks distribution that has been given for the 7 criteria. So curricular aspect that I'm going to be talking to you all about. So under university it is 150, autonomous institutions is 150. So similarly you could see it. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of these. Okay, it's available, and based on whatever score that you would get on 1000, that would be converted, and a CGPA would be generated. And if you get a score of 3.51 to 4, it is considered as A++. Okay, and this is how A++, A+, and so on. It just goes down. So our effort should be that all of us in this grade of 3.51 to 4. A kind request to the participants if they can mute themselves. Thank you. Organizers can mute them. It's quite disturbing. Okay, thank you. Let me proceed. Yes, so finally we would come to the criteria 1, that is the curricular aspect. Curriculum design.
Now, okay, sir. I removed her.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So we move on to the curricular aspect. Okay, so when we talk about best practices of higher educational institution, so one of the practice of an institution should be that, you know, the college or the whether be it affiliated or autonomous or university, they need to be looking at initiating a wide range of programs, and there need to be a lot of options and courses within those sort of programs. Okay, and all these programs that we offer, it should be in tune with the emerging national and global trends, and it should also be relevant to the local needs. We start from the local to that of the regional, and then the national, and then to that of the global trend. So we need to address that through whatever the curriculum that we are going to be designing. And not only that, you know, the curriculum that we design, it should be career oriented, because most of the students, when they join, they would look what is this course all about? What job do I get when I do this particular course? So that means we need to have an answer as to what is this program all about. When you complete this program, what is that you would be able to do it? Okay, and that should include a lot of the skill development elements in that particular program that you have designed, or the course that you have designed. Okay, and also a lot of feedback to be generated from the stakeholders, from the students, from the parents, from the alumni, from the employers and all, to ensure that, you know, the curriculum that you have designed is good, so that, you know, the students can take it up and then shape up their careers. Okay, so in criteria 1, that is curricular aspects, there are 4 key aspects or key indicators. The first one is curriculum design and development. This becomes crucial for universities and autonomous colleges. The colleges which are affiliated, they don't have to worry about this, because the university that they are affiliated to, they would have designed the curriculum, and the same has to be effectively planned and implemented by the affiliated colleges. Okay, and then there is a component, what we call it as the academic flexibility. Okay, I will be talking about all of these in shortly. And then the third one is curriculum enrichment, and the fourth one here is the feedback system. Now, when we talk about curriculum, designing plays a very, very important role. Okay, so that is for autonomous colleges and the universities. The weightage that you see for curriculum design and development for university is 50, for autonomous colleges is 50, for affiliated colleges, because they don't design it, so it's not applicable for them, so they don't have to worry about this design and development. Okay, but what they need to be worrying about is how they plan the delivery of that curriculum and how do they implement it effectively is what they need to be worrying about. And you have around 20 marks out of 100 for curriculum planning and implementation. For academic flexibility, for affiliated colleges is 30, whereas for autonomous colleges is 40, and for universities it is 50. For curriculum enrichment, 30 for affiliated colleges, 40 for autonomous, and universities it is 30. Feedback system, it's 20 for all universities, autonomous colleges, and affiliated colleges. Now, curriculum design and development. When we design curriculum, we need to be careful of what programs are we offering and how often those programs should be looked at it for the revision of the same. Okay, and also we need to be very clear about what are the outcomes of the program. That is, we need to be clear when we offer the programs. Students need to be clear when they take up those programs. And I say clarity in terms of what is the outcome. If I take up this particular program, where would I see myself after completing the program? So that clarity has to be there, which I'm going to be deliberating a little more on that. Then the same thing autonomous colleges would also do. They would design and develop the curriculum, okay? And affiliated, they would only plan and implement the curriculum, okay? So when we use the term as curriculum, what is that curriculum all about? It refers to the lessons and academic content that is taught in a specific course or a program. Let me be a little more, we need to be familiar with what we offer our programs, BA program, BSc programs, all those, we call it as a program, a 3-year program or 2-year program and all of that. Under those programs, in the semesters, whatever we offer as papers, we call those as the courses. Okay, so now when you design the entire content for undergraduates or the postgraduate, now you say that for a particular BA in mathematics, BSc mathematics or BA English, that means for 3 years, what all they are going to learn together, you call it as a program. You design a curriculum for a program, and in specific every semester, those papers you would call courses. So many courses in a semester, and so on. Okay, so when you design a curriculum, typically we would need to ensure that there is something that they learn. That means you are going to make them knowledgeable, you're going to make them kind of skilled, because it requires them to make use of the same and then be employed and work for various whatever, it could be self-employed, it could be being employed by someone else, or they can also start something doing of their own, entrepreneurship and all of that you can do. Okay, so when you design the curriculum, you need to be very clear of what we call it as the learning standards or learning objectives. So you might have been hearing about again and again the outcome-based education. So we need to know what is the outcome of a particular program when we offer them to to any of these students. Okay, so the units and lessons that teaches, it should be student-centric. That is the pedagogy that I have designed a curriculum. It's not a big deal, but how are you going to deliver that curriculum? The pedagogy that you're going to be using it should be student-friendly, so that they try to make a lot of sense out of what we teach them. That's very important. The assignment and the projects that we give it to the students, okay, it should not be kind of spoon-fed at all. You need to engage them, the pedagogy that you're using, so that they learn through various activities, be it assignments, projects, or any of those. Okay, and then you also give them the reference material required. They might not be getting all the resources by themselves. You can provide them the resource materials. You can provide them the videos if you have your own videos, or might be they're available various places. You can make it available to them. The presentations and also the reading material, whatever that you kind of do it. Okay, so this is all would come into when we talk about curriculum. We need to be very, very clear. It's not only put something on a paper and say a syllabus is ready. You need to also say where should they learn from it, how should they learn from it, and what is available, what should they be doing from their side.
So I'd like to interfere, sir. Could you please maximize the screen? It has been minimized once again. Could you please maximize it?
You're not able to see it now again?
Yes,
sorry.
yes, it's been minimized. The screen has been minimized.
How about it now?
No, sir. Please. No, it's not clear.
It's not clear. Not able to understand what the problem is. Every time.
Somebody got between and pressed the screen.
Yes, someone has crossed.
Yes, sir. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. It's clear.
Okay, so let me continue further. Yeah. Okay, so it is the curriculum. Then you also need to be aware of the assessment that we're talking about. Okay. curricular aspect. So when we design the curriculum, now again, as I told you that, this is more for the universities and the autonomous colleges, but it is required. Even if I say I'm an affiliated colleges, I need to be aware of how it is being done. And then I need to also be in a position to tell the respective universities that, the curriculum is not up to the mark if there are issues with the curriculum. So we need to be aware of these things, okay? Now, this curriculum, when you see curriculum aspect, now that should promote excellence. That is, the curriculum should be rigorous. Okay, so the way it has been designed, it should try to impose a lot of demand on the learner. Okay, if it is too easy, if it is a mediocre one, there is no challenge, and the students are also not going to be the better and the best. So you need to design the curriculum in such a way that it imposes a lot of demand on the learner. Okay, and it should also be, you need to follow a lot of best curricular practices as to give them the best. You could do a lot of surveys from different universities, different in India, abroad, and all of that, and see what curriculum they are offering. You can try to amalgamate all of that and then try to present, but with objectivity as to why you are doing the same thing. Okay, and then try to look into your curriculum also with the new education policy. There is a lot of multidisciplinarity thing coming up. So when you are designing, try to design with a lot of this multidisciplinary element in it. Comprehensive, well-defined curriculum, which needs to be periodically updated with the student, faculty, and other stakeholders' feedback. Every curriculum that you design, it should be kind of of a particular lifespan. After which you need to try to revise it again, and you can't just simply revise it like that. You need to take periodically the feedback and all of that. Okay, and also you need to collaborate with other institutions of quality. So as I was telling some time back, try to look at the other universities, their curriculum and all of that, and try to see what's lacking in yours so that you can learn, okay, from others, and then try to do the better and the best. So collaboration with institutions of repute known for rigor of curricula and other academic strategies often enhance the quality of the programs of an institution. So some competence enhancing curricular strategies also need to be inculcated into it. Okay, so the best in terms of imparting the competence, the skills, so that they excel in whatever they kind of do it. Okay. Also, you need to look at curricula which promote value addition. Okay, so we talk about value added and value addition. Now, when we talk about value addition, yes, a lot of affiliated colleges will have kind of grievances or complaint that we need to follow whatever has been designed by the university and all of that. So here you get an element of of flexibility, where you can think what is missing, what you think for a program it is missing. You can start giving them as a value added program. Okay, it might be a kind of a skill sort of a program, a certificate program, an add-on program, any of those with a lot of skill component in it, okay, can be also given. So you have a program already designed. In addition, what more can you give it? That also can be thought of. Okay, so it can be full-time or part-time or technical courses, skill-based, that can be offered. A lot of modular courses can be created, like small modules of 5 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. If it is trying to help, if it helps a student to learn something. These days you might have come across a lot of students have been exposed to Coursera and MOOCs and all of that. They have learned a lot of skills. So like that, even from the colleges, you can think of a lot of such courses. Then course diversification. So in Karnataka, we have triple major, in I think Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and you have single major or double major and all. Again, you can see how it can be taken to a different level by mixing a lot of different fields and making a curriculum more of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary courses. Okay, professional courses also can be thought of if there is a requirement. Okay, you cannot stay with whatever was there in the past. You need to look how, when I offer one program, how I can enhance the employability of such programs by including a lot of these or promoting this value addition. Okay, so I want to also talk a little on the outcome-based education process here, because when you're talking about curriculum design, you need to also keep this in mind when you design your curriculum, that is the outcome-based education. So when we talk about outcome-based education, that is when I design the curriculum, I need to be very, very clear. That is, what is this program going to help a student learn? And when he or she learns that, how well would they be using in order to get employed or become an entrepreneur and all of that. So that clarity has to be there in the curriculum, so that when students look at that curriculum on your website and all, they are very, very sure these are the skills that I already have in me. If I take up this particular course, I might tend to do better and the best, and I can also get kind of employed. Okay, so in outcome-based education, we say there has to be a lot of this constructive alignment. That is, we need to be providing them the learning environment. That is, I have designed the curriculum, then I need to provide them a learning environment for the learning activities to happen, so that the learning happens. So that is the learning outcome. When we write it, it is getting kind of achieved to that. Okay, so in your component, when you design the curriculum, you need to bring in what we call it as this constructive alignment. How much a teacher is going to be imparting the knowledge, and how much would the student construct the meaning out of what is being taught to them, and then there is a meaning that is coming out, that is the student is going to learn. Okay, so the alignment aspect refers to what teachers does, and the construction has to happen from the student. So then we call it as the constructed alignment. Okay, so that means the college has to design the curriculum, design the way it has to be taught, design the way it is being assessed, then be clear to the students, then they would learn, and then they would you try to assess them and tell them these are your outcomes from whatever you have sort of learned. Okay, so when you are defining the curriculum, these three things are very, very important. That is, students who would come in, first thing that they need to learn the core components of that particular program. So if I say mathematics, BSc mathematics, that means they should learn something discipline specific. Okay, disciplinary knowledge and the skills that are required. Generic, the basic ones which might enhance whatever the program that they are there. And then for the attitudes and the values, all those extension pro activities that you will have, it could be skill development, it could be, HRD programs, and a lot of those that you kind of design. So when I'm planning for a program, I'm not only looking at, if I say BSc in mathematics, BSc in microbiology, or BSc in physics and all, I'm not only looking at what they can do from physics, but you need to look at the other areas also, the generic skills and the attitudes and the values. Okay, so then it becomes kind of a good curriculum. Okay, so guidelines for producing effective intended learning outcomes. What are those? That means you try to design a curriculum, and there should be a lot for the student to perform. Okay, so it should not be teacher should take the center stage. So there must be a performer, which has to be the student. There must be something performable that a student should be performing. You just be a sort of facilitator and allow the student to perform, because when they perform, they learn, and then you can do a better assessment. The focus is on the performance, not the activity or the task to be performed. Okay, so this is something that we need to keep in mind when we design a sort of a curriculum. So put it in a nutshell when we talk about the curricular aspects, that is, you design the curriculum. Okay, that is, when I say you, the autonomous colleges can design the curriculum, the universities can design the curriculum. If it is affiliated college, the curriculum has been designed. What you need to be worrying about, the delivery of the curriculum. Okay, so there has to be a lot of planning to be done into how you want to deliver that sort of curriculum, the pedagogy by which you want to do it. We can't teach anything and everything in the same monotonous way. So different subjects to be taught in different ways. Okay, that you need to learn from how it comes with experience, or you can learn from others' experience and all. So you need to be looking at how we deliver the curriculum, and then we also talk, once we deliver, during the delivery itself, you need to be making it very clear to the students, this is how it's being presented, this is how you would be learning, and this is how you're going to be assessed and all of that. So there has to be assessment component also. So you also start planning the assessment and all of that. And whatever assessment that you have done, that data is there with you. And then we say that, you map those POs and, COs. I'll talk to you all about that shortly. Okay. So when you again design the curriculum, now we talk about the graduation attributes. This is all I'm talking about in sync with that of the national education policy when we talk about graduation attributes. So when you design the curriculum towards the end of their graduation, I spoke about the NAAC 5 core values. It would be reflected in these graduation attributes again. That is, now we would want a student to excel in the academics. We would want a student to provide the students a broad-based education. It should not be very specific now because the approach is more of multidisciplinary. Okay. And then there has to be a lot of competencies and capacity building, skill building. It should be there for the students. Then the students should be more of a leader and teamwork. So that means they have not been listed, but you need to design in such a way that a lot of these avenues should be open for the students, where they take up this leadership and teamwork activities and all of that. Okay, and then they need to have this international outlook. That is, they are aware of what's happening not only within the locality but outside also, the international the country. Okay. And then vision and orientation towards the future. So they need to be very clear. This is where we are. This is how our country is. This is how the world is. What should I do from my side, so that we can make the place the better place, the better country, the better world, and all of that. Okay. And then ethical standard and compassion. So one needs to learn through our education itself the ethics involved, the professional ethics that we talk about for students, and then later once they move out of the campus, all of that. Okay, so we call this as AppClive. AppClive, that is for these first letters that I have used, and then these graduation attributes. So when you design your curriculum, you need to be keeping that in mind. Okay, so here I would just stress on these things. That is the program educational outcomes, POs, PSOs, and COs. Now, what is this PEOs? It is program educational outcomes. What are these statements you need to be writing? So when you are designing your curriculum, you are writing these statements. What are these statements? The POs that describes institution's mission aligned with the program. So I know I'm offering BSc Mathematics, BSc Microbiology. Okay, now I have our institution mission. Now, while writing the statements, you need to, align the institution mission with that of the program and write those statements. But you're not just writing them, but eventually you are also achieving the same. This you might achieve not after 3 years of the program. You might achieve this after they move out of the college, they start employing, when they have got employed and all, then subsequently you get to see the PEOs with them. Then you have program outcomes. Now, what are these? These are the statements that describe what students graduating from any of the educational program should be able to do. That is, what would a BA student with whatever specialization would do after 3 years down the line. Okay, so here you would know right after graduation, what are they going to be doing. Program specific outcomes are statements that describe what graduates of a specific educational program should be able to do. Okay, that is in specific. It's a multidisciplinary sort of an approach that we have, like, if in Karnataka and all, we have 3 majors. So there I'll have to be writing specific. I teach a combination which is MCZ, microbiology, chemistry, zoology. So I need to know after 3 years of graduation with microbiology what they're able to do, with chemistry what they're able to do, with the other subject and zoology what they're able to do. So you need to be defining it. And then the course outcomes. What are these? These are the statements that describe what students should be able to do at the end of the course. That is, every semester one paper is being taught. By the end of that paper, what he or she is able to do it. Okay, so that can be one. There can be multiple COs Okay, there can be multiple PSOs, but again, the COs to be aligned with the PSOs and the PSOs to be aligned with the PEOs. So this is what one needs to do it when they kind of design the curriculum. Okay, so for designing the curriculum, yes, you have the structure ready, not an easy job, but yes, a lot of efforts need to be put in, because you need to write all of these, the PEOs, the POs, the PSOs, and also the COs, and how you are going to map them and all. Design, develop it if there is requirement, present it before the people who are the expertise and all of that, try to do it, refine it, revise it, all that you could do it, implement it, get it started with whatever you have thought of, and then monitor it, as you go along, and see how it's moving on, and take feedback, say timely, you complete one batch of that particular curriculum, take the feedback from the stakeholders. If requirement, whatever, based on the review or the feedback that you got, you try to revise again, and you just continue with the process all over again. Clear? So what I just have shared so far to you all with you is a general idea of the curricular aspect. So now we'll look at the metrics of the NAAC, and then we'll see what you all need to be doing from your side when you take part in the NAAC process. One thing is, like, a performance. We know we are imparting education. You don't have to every now and then keep looking at these criteria and get worried or get panic and all. We know this is how we are functioning. Look at also how the NAAC is looking at it and all. Just try to change a bit if it's not in sync, and then you just do your job, and obviously the data is going to be generated for whatever you're going to do it. Okay, so when you design the curriculum, now what they are looking at here is the curriculum that you design should be relevant to the local, regional, national, global developments need. That's very important. Then you need to be very clear about the learning objectives, as I just was telling you, intended learning outcomes. So you need to be defining those learning objectives. That is the PEOs, the PSOs, the COs, and all of that you need to be defining. That is, should include program outcomes, program specific outcomes, and the course outcomes of all programs offered by the universities and the colleges. Now this is more of a qualitative, so that means how it was designed, what objectives and all that, you need to be writing it, okay, and then upload the additional information. So I have so many departments, so many syllabi, and all that has to be uploaded there on the website. Okay, then percentage of programs where syllabus revision was carried out during the last 5 years. Okay, we have designed it and we have implemented the same, and then how often have you revised it? Okay, so that is what the question is. How many programs were revised of total number of programs offered during the last 5 years? As I kept telling, program, the entire program they're looking at. Okay, so that you need to be talking about. Okay, and the number of all programs offered by the institution during the last 5 years. So here, this is the data that you are going to be providing to the NAAC. Okay, and the third one is, that is 1.1.3 under curriculum design and development. Average percentage of courses having focus on employability, entrepreneurship, skill development during the last 5 years. That is, in the program, in the curriculum that you have designed for a program, under that, how many of the courses in the semester or across the semester which give emphasis on employability, entrepreneurship, or skill development. Okay, so you need to be telling those number, clear, and year-wise for the last 5 years is what you're going to be talking. Okay, so data requirement is for the last 5 years, that is per year and average. So there are formulas. So here it's a quantitative here. So these are the additional data you need to be submitting them. Whatever you say, there has to be a proof for that. Okay, we have designed the curriculum, there has to be a curriculum on paper on your website. You see a revision, the old, the revised one should be made available. Very clear. Okay, so the Board of Studies minutes of meeting should be made available. What changes you have done, all that clarity is what we will be looking at. Clear? So program, curriculum, syllabus of the course, minutes of the Board of Studies meeting, which you also get it approved in the academic councils. You need to have those meetings. If you have any sort of MOUs with other organizations, there might be a lot of credit transfers and all that can be done if at all it's happening. So that means the MOUs, you need to have it clear. So, and what is the percentage of the courses having employability? All the data you need to be furnishing it to them. Clear? So this is for autonomous colleges and the universities. And for those who are affiliated colleges, there is no designing of the curriculums, but they have curricular planning and implementation. So for them, what they should be doing is the institution ensures effective curriculum delivery through a well-planned and documented process. That means they need to be very, very clear about how are they going to deliver the curriculum, the pedagogy that they're going to be using, the planning that is involved, all that foolproof documented process should be made available, and the weightage that is given is 10 marks there. And then the institution adheres to the academic calendar. Okay, so there has to be an academic calendar, and you need to be adhering to the academic calendar. Okay, how well, all that again you will have to be explaining it to them, and including also of the conducting of the continuous internal evaluation process, the continuous internal assessment that you do. So even that clarity has to be given there. Okay, and then 1.1.3, that is the teachers, affiliated college teachers who are a part of Board of Studies. Very important here. Okay, so that means you are going to be furnishing that data. Academic, if you're a part of academic council or BOS, those affiliated colleges members. Okay, are you also setting question papers? Okay, are you a part of the BOE or BOS? Okay, so that has to be given there. And are you were you in charge of designing and development of any of the curriculum or add-on certificate program, any of those? Clear? Were you also a part of the assessment and the evaluation process? Do you go as an evaluator and all? So all the data has to be given. Okay, so look at the data templates which are there and furnish the data accordingly. Okay, so that is about the curriculum design and development, or it could be also curricular planning and implementation for affiliated colleges. So now we talk about the academic flexibility. This is very, very important. So even the affiliated colleges can take active participation here and try to make the curriculum better and the best. That is, it's not your curriculum the university has designed, but you can also make it best so that your colleges can draw a lot of students. Okay. Also there's quality. So here when we talk about flexibility, your curriculum being flexible, that is, it is when I say a curriculum is flexible, it's a very good trait of your curriculum. That means you can incorporate changes whenever there is necessary. There's liberties there again for the universities and the autonomous colleges, but for affiliated, I'll tell you what those people can do it here. Okay, so a flexible curriculum that responds to the need of individual learners. Now we had this COVID and all of that. How well can you sort of a structure and present it again? But again, yes, there is a procedure to be followed. Any changes in the curriculum, you need to first plan it, call for a BOS, get it approved by them, call the academic council, get it approved by them, and then you can implement it. But it can be done. So this amount of flexibility is there. Okay. So this is just again to tell you something.
அதாவது மேடம் நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னாக்க இப்போ இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து 140 பேர் காட்டுது மேடம். ஆமாம் இப்போதைக்கு 130 காட்டுது. அதுக்கு பக்கத்தில் வந்து ஷார்ட் பாக்ஸில் போனோம்னா ஒன்றுமே வரல. எனக்கு லிங்க் எதுவுமே வர.
Sir, the one who is speaking, please mute yourself, sir. Please mute yourself. So the resource person is speaking. Please mute yourself, sir. Participants, please mute yourself.
Okay.
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So the higher education institutions, we offer programs, and those programs we planned it for semesters, 6 semesters for UG, 4 semesters for PG, and under each of the semester we offer what we call it as courses. the courses will have 4 courses, that is discipline specific. There can be elective, which can also be discipline specific. There can be interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary courses. Okay. Now, in order to make things even better, we might also offer certain foundation courses. It's mandatory again to offer certain foundation courses. Then there is value-based courses, which I was telling some time back, the skill enhancement, the certificate programs, the value-based courses. Then there are value-added, value-based are more on, kind of a skill, value-based is more on to do with the HRD programs and, competency building and all of those. And value-added, something for the core program, whatever they have taken to enhance. You can give this value-added or the okay. So flexibility, when we talk about the freedom to introduce new courses as electives in tune with the latest development, so we can introduce any electives that we would want. Okay. Choice based, we already say our syllabus is choice based, so there has to be element of that choice based credit system. Credit transfer is a good thing, but again there are a lot of restrictions that's happening on that. Choice of faculty members, if I'm an expert in certain area, I can offer an elective paper on my expertise on that. Additional courses, add-on courses that we talk about. Semester abroad program, there are also universities and also autonomous colleges who can think of this semester abroad, like one entire semester with new education policy and all of these are going to become, quite in practice. Okay, so they can go and do whatever particular course, come back and then rejoin. Okay, semester abroad program. Interdisciplinary research. At the undergraduate level itself, there has to be a lot of research activities to be carried out under undergraduate level. It can be also specific research, but it can a lot of emphasis to be given on the interdisciplinary research. Change of branch as per their academic performances. That is, they join a particular program. If they're not happy with one or two, if there are chances that you could also, look at it. But all these have to be done through a process, a well-informed process of BOS, academic thing, and then you just kind of move it. Okay, I'm giving you a general ideas. Okay, so it might be good, apt for certain colleges, certain institutions, might not be apt for others. So you need to pick up from here and see what best can be done. Okay, then value-added courses also can be provided. So such is the flexibility that you can talk about. So curricular aspect to promote value education, it can be technical course or skill based. This is, I think it's repeated again, the same thing which I had spoken in the past. Okay, now let's look at the NAC requirement criteria wise for academic flexibility. So what are they looking at? Percentage of new courses introduced of the total number of courses across all the programs offered during the last 5 years. So if you have introduced any courses in your programs that you have offered is what they are looking at. Okay, percentage of program in which choice-based or CBCS or elective courses system has been implemented. So that is what they would want. So what is the total number of credits, out of which what is the percentage of choice do you offer for the students? So that is what they're asking here. Then what has to be also, the other thing here is average percentage of students enrolled in subject related certificate or diploma program, add-on programs as against the total number of students during the last 5 years. Okay, this is more apt for the affiliated colleges here. Okay, and that's about the academic flexibility. So what I presented before you is the plethora of opportunities which you can think of and then implement the same. Then is the curriculum enrichment. Now, when we talk about curriculum enrichment, how the curriculum that you're offering would be enriched. It can be enriched, one, by your way of delivering it, the pedagogy that you're kind of using. Okay, so this curriculum enrichment is a vital dynamic component which gives a meaning to the educational system. So I have curriculum, but I'm not able to, implement it or, deliver it in a proper way. That means it fails drastically. So you need to be a little more careful when you do the same thing. Okay. And also, what more should you be including to make the entire curriculum more, when we talk about, attaining the local needs, the global needs, and all of that, that also has to be done here. So learning that goes beyond from what is prescribed in the core curriculum. Okay, so the extension activities that we talk about, like engaging the students in a lot of field-based work or internships and all of that, it can also be to do with the skill enhancement at the same time. It provides excitement and restore fun in the class. It basically talking about how you deliver it and how you would make them a part of experiential learning. Okay. So giving a greater value by putting life into overall education process. Okay, I've come here not only to study a particular subject, but also life related again around that particular subject is what I need to be learning. Okay, so various pedagogies that you can introduce to the students in order to make them learn easy, grasp the concepts in a better manner. Okay, it could be any of those. I know most of you would follow such things. Okay, but you can devise better things. Case study development, okay, then group discussion, laboratory based learning, fieldwork based learning, software based learning, exposure based learning, research based learning, experiential learning, internships, student forum based activities. So a lot of these activities that you can bring it on the campus. Okay, it can be off classrooms that you can think of. Okay, department wise, collaborative department wise, you can have a lot of forums and all of that. Expose the students to diverse such fields and all of that, where there is more learning happening more than what happens normally in a classroom and all of that. Okay, so this is something that I thought of presenting before you. Again, each one we should learn what suits the best for our sort of infrastructure and resources. Okay, so what is the question that the NAAC is asking under this sub-criteria? That is 1.3, that is the curriculum management. Institution integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to gender, environment, sustainability, human values, professional ethics, and all of those. Okay, so what I need to tell you, or little, most of you would be doing, like we conduct a lot of programs like Igniters program, HRD program, and then we also have outreach program and all of this. So those programs, if you all have, that also can be showcased in this particular area here. Okay. Then number of value-added courses imparting transferable and life skills offered during the last 5 years. So okay, so all which I was talking to you some time back about the life skill training and all of that, where the placement officers might be offering it, or different committees would offer these programs in different colleges. It's diverse, okay, but you need to know what data, where you can include it, and what can be presented. But finally, you need to say that it's all happening under one umbrella of our teaching, learning, that is the curriculum design and the delivery process. Okay, so average percentage of students enroll in the courses. Whatever courses that you have been offering here, how many of them are a part of that? You need to keep a tab, and the same thing has to be furnished. Then percentage of students undertaking field projects, internships, that data has to be furnished. Okay, because the field-based learning is something which is very important for the students. They learn a lot. Internships, when they do, they learn a lot. Research, if you have it, that also can be included. That helps your students learn a lot of those things. Okay, so and finally, it's the feedback system. There has to be a structured feedback mechanism on campuses. They look at feedback for syllabus, basically for the design and the development of the curriculum, also the assessment evaluation processes. You can take the feedback from the students, feedback from the teachers, employers. Our students have been employed. You can take a feedback as to how well our students are performing with them, and with the feedback you can improve if at all you have to work on your curriculum and all of that. Alumni, the ones who have passed out, how well they are doing and what issue they would have faced if at all they did. Okay, so that feedback can be taken, and then also from the parents. Okay, all that can be done. So there is a template. So based on that, you will have to be doing it. Okay, and then based on whatever feedback, is it you only collect the feedback, or you also collect the feedback, you analyze, and then you take action on the feedback taken? If at all you do that, you just need to be answering the same questions. Okay, so there has to be an effective feedback mechanism on any higher educational system, so that you can carry out your activities in a more efficient way. Okay, so finally, what I just want to tell you that yes, get your curriculum design keeping in mind the real requirements, the local, regional, global, and look at the enhancement of the skill and the competencies in the students, and implement it and assess that, take feedbacks, and keep progressing as in when there are issues, you pause and try to look at it. Clear? So I would end the curricular aspects with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. By education, I mean an all-round drawing of the best in the child and man and body. Man is body, mind, and spirit. So education is for the whole self. And one more quote that I would want to read from Dr. Abdul Kalam: excellence is a continuous process and not an accident. So we need to be working, striving hard. We can't become complacent that we have designed a curriculum and we say this is the best, it's doing well. You need to every now and then keep cross-checking how things are, and then you need to move on further. Okay, so thank you all for your patient hearing. Sorry if there were any glitches, technical glitches from my side. I apologize for the same. And if you have any questions, feel free to the same. Okay?
Bye.
So, thank you.
So, now is a question and answer session. I request the participants to post your questions in the chat box.
And it's quite late in the evening, but if at all there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So we're getting a lot of comments. They're very happy and they say it's a wonderful session. So
Thank you for all your.
We are indeed very blessed because your presentation was very vivid, very you gave us a very in-depth analysis of all aspects of the curriculum, what we need to do in the practical side. Thank you. We are really blessed.
Thank you very much. So, yeah.
Ranjini, do we have any questions, Ranjini?
This one question now. That's from the participant named Kaushal Yadav. Do we have to present data for specific year-wise?
For certain criteria, yes, you need to be submitting, because now you have annual quality assurance report. Colleges are already a part of the NAAC, who have completed the NAAC process. Every year you are going to be submitting the data, the annual quality assurance report, which is an annual report for the academic year. So if you look at the AQAR format, is similar to that of the entire NAAC process itself. So whatever data that you're submitting annually, when you take part in the NAAC, the last 5 years, AQAR becomes your report, the SSR report there. Okay. So annually, yes, you need to be presenting it, and at places wherever they ask you to put it all for the last 5 years, you do it. At places they would ask only for that particular academic year. So it varies from one criteria to that of the another in specific, but otherwise, yes, you need to be presenting the last 5 years data. So you be careful of getting documenting everything that you do it on campus. Your documentation center or documentation process should be excellent.
Thank you, sir. One more question from the same person. What if some content is not present in AQR?
No, if you just go through, it's almost the same. You wouldn't see anything which is missing in the AQA. There also, you have just the same thing, only in the SSR, whatever format, it's cumulative 5 years, but in the AQAR, it's just the same. There is no question that is missed in AQAR.
Thank you, sir. One more question from Neelima Bhagat. Can you please tell the importance of feedback form necessary to be filled from employer?
Yes, it is mandatory to be done because your students are getting recruited by others. So a feedback from the employer will tell us that how well are we imparting the required knowledge and the skills. So one is a feedback. You're getting the information for you to get better. Okay, so here when we are talking about the NAC assessing and all of that, to tell you that do you have such practice in place that you are trying to take feedbacks from these people and working on your curriculum and all of that. So if you already have that, that's going to be an excellent. You don't have it, they might just not give you sort of marks to that, but otherwise for others, if you do it, it's going to be excellent. But it's going to be a good practice if you kind of do it. Even NIRF, if you're all taking part in, so there also you have this, we need to be providing the list of the employers, some 50 list of employers where our students get recruited. There is also this perception thing that they do. They try to send queries to these employers and try to get the feedback about the college as to how well the students are performing there. So it is mandatory for you to get into the process of getting the feedback from the employees.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Dr. Mrs. Regina. What is GTAG photos?
Okay, GTAG photos, like, I'm conducting a class or a combination in a particular location. So there are options on your smartphones or on any of your camera where you can go to those things, and when you click a picture, it's going to tell exactly on your campus where is this place located. When we talk about infrastructure, I have a lab. If I say that I have a lab, I show an image of that lab. I can't show the image of the same lab to another course or another program. Okay, so when the geotagging, it is geographical location of that particular lab, it would be depicted on the picture. Hope I answered.
Thank you, sir. I think there are no more questions.
Yes.
No more questions from YouTube also.
Then she has one more question. Only maybe what is asked, what is the difference between value-added course and add-on course?
Okay, see, an add-on course can be a value-added course. There's no difference in it. Okay, so when you say not all add-on course can be value-added course. I'll repeat it again. Not all add-on course are value-added courses. An add-on course can be a value-added course. When you say a value-added course, for example, if I have to give you, I'm teaching microbiology. Now, a value-added course for microbiology is if I'm teaching some sort of techniques, certain instrumentation which was not there in the curriculum. So I'm teaching them instrumentation process of how to use different instrumentation and all of that. So I make it as a program, as a course, then it becomes a kind of an add-on. That is what they're not learning in the regular curriculum. Something I teach them in addition to that, which gives them added information about the same course competency. That is what we call it as an value-added course. Add-on can be anything for that matter. Okay, even writing, singing, or any of those, where it can make them learn certain skills and all of that. Okay, that can be an add-on.
I think that's all. I think we don't have any more questions. So can we move on to the next session of the program? I mean, the next part.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. So now this is a time for the official vote of thanks, and I invite Sheila Joseph, who is a research scholar of NSS Training College Pandalam Research Center, to tell about the vote of thanks to our special resource person, Said Vijay. Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Sheena,
Yes,
you're audible.
yes, Sheena, you're audible.
Myself, research scholar from NSS Training College, Padaram. Graceful evening, each and every person who have attended the wonderful session, and for most valuable, honorable research person, Sajid Burgess sir, who spared his busy schedule and expressed his views related to the curricular aspect of revised NAAC assessment and accreditation framework for the teacher education institution. Today we had an opportunity to hear from you, and this will surely going to encourage us in our future events. Your thoughts have enlightened us and has shown us a new path related to the vision, mission, core values, 7 criteria, global needs, curricular enrichment feedback system, 7 graduation attributes, a lot of things, sir. How well you have been explained, how well you have been interacted with the real practical experiences, how the course have been interacted, how it can be valued. So it was out of my words. I can't even express how clear it was. It was so nice. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of our webinar. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks a lot,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank
You are
you,
always
ma'am Srinath, Joseph, and thank you all others involved in the organization. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Apart from that, it's my pride privilege to also propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of the organizing committee, Professor N. Panchanatham sir, Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Professor Balakrishnan sir, Registrar IC, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, conveners, Professor M. Govindan sir, Dean of Faculty and Head of Psychology from Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Professor N. S. Anil sir, Director IQAC, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Dr. Usha Devi ma'am, NSS Training College, Mangalam, organizing secretaries, those who have been worked very hard behind the screen, and it would not be too much to say that I have been attended a lot of the webinars which have been being part of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, especially Dr. Shivashakti Rajamal ma'am, Assistant Professor and Coordinator, Center for Capacity Building Program for School Teachers, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Dr. U. Pandian sir, Assistant Professor and Deputy Director, IQAC, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Dr. P. Subramanian sir, Assistant Professor and Coordinator, Innovation and Best Practice Center, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, and Dr. Ranjini Devi ma'am, Assistant Professor and IQAC Coordinator of NSS Training College, Mangalam. Last but not the least, a big thanks to each and every participants who have been participated, who have been along with us from 3:30 onwards, as it being too much, the time has been 6 right now. Even after that, those who have been spent a lot of time, I know it was a really beautiful session which have been arranged for us. Thank you for the organizer, for the sir, those who have been listening as delivered such a wonderful session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheena Joseph. And I cannot conclude this session without thanking the VC, Dr. Panchanatham sir, and our Shivashakti ma'am for giving us such a wonderful opportunity, and Ranjini for organizing such a beautiful program, and our special resource person today, Said Vijay, for giving us such a wonderful session. Thank you, sir. Now, dear delegates, tomorrow's session begins at 4 p.m. and the topic is Teaching, Learning and Valuation, which will be headed by Dr. T. Mohammed Salim. He's a Principal and Research Guide in Education, Farouk Training College, Calcutta. So, can we wind up for today?
Madam, thank you, madam. This is Mani here.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much for all
Thank
your.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for all your cooperation and constant support to us. We believe that the same thing will definitely continue ever for helping our university from your side. Thank you to every one of you for taking such a very serious effort of making this program a grand success on the first day itself. I think there is a proverb always, a good beginning is always have a good end. So in that sense, I really thank you all for helping us to make this program a successful one on the first day. I personally express my gratitude and thanks to the resource person, and I also thank my colleague Dr. Sivashakti, who has been doing a very good work silently to make this program very successful. Thank you one and all. Hope to meet you tomorrow. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you to the principal, to the comparing person, to the IQAC coordinator of NSS Training College, all the resource person, the participants, and all the people who have joined us today. I express my sincere thanks on behalf of the Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. Thank you once again. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can Sajid sir share his email address, please?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ranjani, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I think
Thank
sir
you,
has left.
Srilekha, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
all
ma'am.
the
Thank you.
NSS training
Nice to see you. So
college
nice to
staff.
see you. So nice to see you.
Thank you all the participants.
Okay. Ma'am, can we wind up for today?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So delegates, we all meet tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. Ranjini, can we wind up?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. Okay.